Coach mentioned that you were pretty upset after that home run, but, 13 strikeouts, no walks, all things considered, how did you kind of assess how you were able to come out there and pitch today?
I think I pitched well, but at the end of the day, the biggest stat of the day is if we win or lose, and we didn't win. So I think pretty much everything else doesn't matter.
Now, Landon, obviously you've had to make a little bit of a transition here too, but how much more do you feel like you had left in the tank? It's early, it's 40 degrees, I know you're on pitch counts right now, but when you went back out there the last time, how much more do you feel like could you have finished the game under normal circumstances?
Yeah, I think I could have later, later in the season. I think I'm going to get plenty of opportunities for that. But I kind of just hit my pitch count right there. And, my velocity did take a little bit of a dip down towards, my last 15, 20 pitches. But I felt strong. I felt like my feet were under me. So I definitely would have liked to have finished the game. But at the end of the day, going 9 innings on February 18th is not very important.
And think about, too, that now you know you're not going to pitch again for 7 days. So what's your process like from an arm care standpoint, maybe from a mental standpoint, knowing that, hey, this is it for another week? From a personal standpoint, I'm going to do everything I can to feel as good as I can next Friday. But, the bigger job is kind of just being there for everybody else this weekend. And, we got to bounce back and, win 2 more games. And I got to do whatever I can do off the field to, try and help everybody do that.
Landon, do you prepare any differently as a starter, whereas as a reliever you don't know how the game's going to go or if you're going to be used?
Yeah, I think from a mental, physical, everything standpoint, it's a lot different. I have an idea of when I'm going to pitch rather than being a reliever. You kind of have you have a little bit of a clue, but you never know when your name's actually going to get called.
What do you think it's going to be like tomorrow and Sunday, knowing that you're not going to be out there no matter how the game goes?
It's going to be different, but I'm going to be pretty vocal in the dugout, and like I said earlier, try and do as much as I can in the dugout to help everybody win.
At what point do you hope to mix in that changeup a little bit more?
I think when people prove that they can't hit my fastball, I think going to that changeup when. I'm kind of having some success with my changeup. Kind of just defeats the purpose of pitching. I want somebody to beat me before I go to, even my slider. I want them to prove that they can hit my fastball before they go to the second and third pitches.
On that fastball that they hit out, was that the location you wanted, or did you miss your spot a little bit and you just
I think you just ambushed a fastball. You put a good swing on it. If I could do it again, I'd probably throw the exact same pitch.
Now, you mentioned being more vocal. You can kind of put a sharper point on a scouting report after seeing these guys today. So how do you kind of share that with those guys? What are those conversations like, and when do you have them?
I had them with, I went down to the bullpen to get in my post throw, arm care kind of stuff, and I kind of just told them that, they're free swingers. They're aggressive early in the count. You got to make good pitches early in the count. And then, with 2 strikes, you can kind of expand the zone. I'm going to talk with KC as much as he wants me to talk to him in preparation for tomorrow. We live together, so it's pretty easy for me to talk to him. But, I think sometimes they might come to me for questions. And then, if I think there's something that really stands out over other things, I'll go to them and kind of, tell them what I think.
You mentioned KC. What have you seen from him differently in preparation for this season that's allowed him to get in this spot?
He's just a hard worker. It's, from a mental standpoint, he just, he thinks that he's going to beat everybody that steps into the box. His stuff is absolutely electric. From a pure stuff standpoint, I think he has the best stuff on the team. From analytics to the numbers of it, it's just, it's a special arm, and he's just got to bring that mentality every day, and I think everybody's going to see it tomorrow.
Landon, you mentioned this being the first game of a long season. What's your message to maybe some of the younger guys that, even though y'all had some tough moments last year,
right,
doing what you did? So just talk about your message.
I think the message from the older guys to the younger guys last year was, the same message that I'm trying to pass on to the younger guys now is, it's just that it's a long season. We played 68 games last year. Game 1 we won. It was a really fun game last year. But what we did on game 68 was a lot more important than what we did on game 1, and just kind of doing everything we can to let them know that it's a long game, and just don't. Once you leave the field, it's you're kind of leaving. Coach Lamonis likes to say you're kind of leaving the player here, and you got to go be a person outside, and that's kind of the message that I try and put out there is. Don't sit and sulk in it. There's no point. They played better than us today. They did pretty much everything better than us today, and that's what it boils down to. And tomorrow, that's a good thing about baseball is we're going to get another chance to do it tomorrow.
Even with the frustration of not getting that W on opening day, is there still some satisfaction of going out there the first time and saying, okay, yeah, I'm shown I can be an SEC starter?
Yeah, for sure. I believed it myself even before this start today. But I think that this start boosts my confidence even a little bit more. Obviously, like I said earlier, we didn't win, which is the biggest stat of the day. But from a personal standpoint, I feel good about my outing. Caught that one barrel in the 7th inning, but other than that, I feel good rolling into next weekend, and feel really good about my confidence.
How'd the New Jersey guy and the Georgia guy get paired up together?
I don't know. It's a funny story, but we just get along pretty well. He's different, and he's a goofball, but we really enjoy being around each other.
Did y'all know each other before y'all came in?
We didn't. I actually, in the first few weeks of freshman year, I thought he was like the weirdest guy I've ever met. Because he wasn't here when we were in the summer, and I was like, "Who is this guy? Like, what is he doing here?" And then it just it's how life works. We're best friends now, so it's pretty awesome.
Like this, when the offense kind of struggles, you're one of the leaders on the team. What's kind of your message to the guys, and how do you kind of flush the day and get ready for tomorrow?
I mean, tomorrow's a new day. We're going to wake up. It's going to be another baseball game. We just got to come out here and compete, and we got to do better than we did today to win the game. You can't win a game hitting one base hit and getting on base. I think we got on base 3 or 4 times. It wasn't a great offensive performance, but we got to come out and be better tomorrow.
How impressive was Landon today?
He was really good. He had everything working. He had one bad pitch. It cost him, but other than that, I think he had 14 strikeouts in 7 innings, which is you can't ask for much more. Your starter gives you 14 and 7, and he gives up 1 run. You should win that game.
That one pitch looked like middle up fastball, left hanging. Where did he kind of want that fastball instead on the home run?
Usually with him, you can throw it wherever you want to. He just put a good swing on it. It's one of those things. He puts a good swing on it, hits it hard, and happens.
You've worked with him so much as a reliever. What's it like working with him as a starter?
Nothing much really changes. It's just he's just out there for a little bit longer. That's about it. But he was very impressive today. He did well, and he did everything he needed to do to win. And we need to come back tomorrow and be better offensively because we should have won that game.
Ramirez really lived up to the book on him. Got a lot of ground balls and a lot of weak contact. What did you see from him that was causing you so much trouble?
He had a really good sinker today, really good 2-seam sinker. He was mixing his pitches well. He's throwing a lot of changeups to left, a lot of sliders to right, keeping guys off balance, and we couldn't seem to get a barrel on him. And I think we hit probably 15 ground balls at shortstop. It felt like, but you just gotta learn from that and get better.
You mentioned Ramirez's changeup. When I was talking to Landon for a second, he was talking about using his changeup more. About how often did y'all use it today, and what did you kind of think of it?
I don't think we caught it one time. I don't think we really had to. They couldn't hit his fastball well today, but he learned from it, try to get better, and he'll use it eventually.
When you see a runner break from first, what's the first thing that goes through your mind? Are you excited about that? Are you fearful? What happens in the mind of Logan Tanner when a guy breaks from first to second?
I get really happy. I love watching people trying to run. It's very fun. It doesn't happen very often, but it's fun when it happens.
Any more waving this year, or is that last year's team? Or
I hit a small wave. I'm trying to tone it down a little bit. It's first game of the season. You gotta work our way up to that.
okay, pace yourself.
Yeah.
Landon said earlier this year that he was trying to dial back the emotions a little bit as a starter. Did you notice that maybe he was a little bit less emotive on the mound?
I think he was just as emotional. He just didn't show it as much. I think in his mind he was still where he needed to be to compete and be great. And I think he went out there and he was great and he competed really well. And I think his emotions were definitely in check. It was really good to see that.
Let's see Hunter Hines gets that hit for you guys, gets thrown out at second base. What do you tell a young player like that, I guess, when he makes that type of mistake early on in the season, kind of try to learn from him moving forward?
You learn what you did wrong, and then you try to move forward and try not to make that mistake again. I mean, it's his first hit of his career. I think my first hit of my career, I missed first base on a homer. So I mean, it happens. It's one of those things where you just learn from it and try to get better.
Logan, what did you see from the crowd today? Like first game back home after winning an overall, was it winning in Omaha? Was it exciting to be back out there at home?
No doubt, no doubt. You know, we love the fans here. I think we broke the home attendance record today. I think I saw that out there. That was awesome. It was good to see all the family and friends back at the Dude, and we need to come out tomorrow and perform better for them and perform better for this team, and I think we're going to do that.